that's not to detract from anything. Boise State's a really good football team, but we didn't handle some adversity well tonight. We sustained some more injuries, which are tough to handle, but we've got to work through those. Some way, some fashion, we need to regroup, get ourselves ready to go for New Mexico this next week. So that opened up to questions.
Craig, what can you tell us with Colby and Robert, or any other injuries? I know it's early, but
pretty much. I got a list here. Colby, severe ankle sprain. So we'll see where we're at. I know he had a hard time even putting any weight on it. And so that typically is going to indicate that he's not going to be in position to play next week. But we'll find out a little bit more on that. Priester's out. They're going to do a MRI. It's pretty loose in his joint. A little bit concerned about an ACL tear. So we'll find out a little bit more about that. Trey Norman's out. I think he'll be done for the year. Omar Stover had a head injury with some concussions. So that's where we're at, gentlemen.
Craig, I mean, it just, you know, it was getting bad. You know, Boise was very good and stuff, but you know, you said you didn't handle adversity well. What was maybe the most disappointing part that you didn't handle?
Some of the things, you know, we knew their perimeter game, Robert, was going to be a challenge, and obviously they got a great running back. But you know, we've had a challenge with jet sweeps and perimeter game, speed on the edges, and we've been working on that. And that was disappointing tonight. We didn't adjust to the speed of the game very well, and New Mexico's, you know, we're already working on next week, and they run a complicated offense. But that's disappointing. We didn't handle that very well, and you know, I think at times offensively we had some good push, but you know, we didn't get our running game going like we needed to, and missed some open receivers downfield. We knew they had a great punt returner, and you know, I thought Ethan had done a pretty good job directional punting. They punted the ball. We had, I think, 3 to 4 guys at the point of attack, and missed some tackles. But some of what occurs is when you sustain this significant number of injuries, that's going to have a residual effect on your special teams. Guys are out there trying real hard. There's not very talented in some of the spots right now, so. Got to be measured about my words. You know, even though I'm a very experienced football coach, it's been a long time since I've gone through something like this, and we've got to regroup and come up with a plan to win next week.
Coach, there have been, you know, a number of games where you guys have fallen down and have been able to kind of fight back in and I guess face that adversity better. I mean, what was, you know, so disappointing about, I guess, the second half? It just seemed like the guys weren't able to make that push.
I agree with you, you know, because in the past, even though maybe when we were out of the games, the guys had bounced back, and I know maybe in the past that had been characteristic that the guys didn't respond well in the second half, and we certainly didn't tonight. How much of an effect Colby going out, to say that that's not that big of an effect, that's a pretty significant effect, but we need to respond. I thought we lost our composure a little bit, not so much with the extra stuff after the plays, but you know, finishing up with some assignments and things like that. And that's where we've got coach on our shirt. We've got to figure out how to build these guys up, coach them up, and get through that. And tonight was the first night, even though I think Boise's an excellent football team, and we've played great teams this year. You know, some of them in the top 10. I thought tonight was the first night that we didn't come back and at least stay in the fight. And that's a, you know, there's different steps to a program, and I think we took a step back from that standpoint, and I won't sugarcoat that. We got to get our arms around that and make sure that doesn't happen again.
I think that'll be tough to get your arms back around this week. There's one game left,
right.
Some last game for some guys in this program. Do you think that'll be hard to get back this coming week?
Well, I think it's going to be a challenge, but that's we've got a seasoned veteran coaching staff, and that's a big portion of my job to do. It's not going to be an easy job. I think anytime a coach can make a pretty blanketed statement after this kind of whooping, it could be a little bit inaccurate. So I'm going to hold some judgment on that, but talk to our guys that, you know, we all own this, and we have an opportunity this next week to get the ship right and keep moving our program forward. And I think we took a step back tonight.
Do you think you know what you may do? I mean, you have a week to practice, but Tom be the guy at quarterback, Craig? Is it open competition this week? What do you think?
I'd say it's open competition right now. We were trying all kinds of different things, and we tried Sam in there, and so I'll meet with Coach Vegan and the offensive staff to compose a game plan. Whoever that quarterback is to go out and give us our best opportunity to win, and so it's going to be probably between one of those two guys, unless there's something else out there.
Coach, 24 guys played their final home game tonight, seniors. These aren't the guys you've recruited, but the year you've spent with them, your thoughts on their relationship?
What was interesting is they ran out there. I mean, I hugged every one of them. And I'm not exactly a warm, fuzzy, huggy type guy. And I think that's an indication of, I appreciate what those guys have been. They've been through an awful lot, a lot of ups and downs, and didn't know our coaching staff. And so for them, what I was disappointed in for them was to have their last home performance on their home field turn out like this, because you can slice it, dice it up any way you want to. That's not reflective of where we want our program to be, and so that's their last experience here. The positive thing is they have another game left to respond.